Hello guys, it's me. Welcome back to the show. I wanted to talk about this because I've been seeing lots of stories about it. We've been hearing a lot about it.
So that's right, guys.
Today we're going to be looking at, I call him the quintessential American. The Benjamin Franklin of our time. What's the guy's name? George Santos. George Santos, he's some kind of a Congress guy. Who cares? This guy's really something. And he gave an interview that is really something. Before we get to that, though, let's run through this guy's backstory. Here's every single lie told by George Santos. This is from, what is this? From New York Mag. He lied about where he went to high school and college. He never worked on Wall Street. No one knows really where his money came from. Is the money legit? No one knows. He also lied about founding an animal charity. His grandmother was definitely not a Holocaust victim. In an interview on a conservative podcast in May 2022, Santos said his grandparents survived the Holocaust, and his campaign bio claimed that they fled persecution during World War II. Apparently, according to genealogy records reviewed by CNN in the forward, this did not apply to his family. He lied about having employees who died in the Pulse nightclub shooting.
And George Santos will be joining us at the end of the show to respond
to
Matt. The growing calls from members of his delegation and folks in his state that he stepped down from Congress. We'll see what he has to say in response.
So first things first, Matt Gaetz, get your YouTube numbers on point. Little 4.6 thousand views, have an ass. I mean, if this show weren't insane enough, just pure demented insanity.
You have admitted embellishing your resume.
Yeah,
you've acknowledged it. You've apologized for it.
Yeah.
Some have said that you shouldn't be seated on committees for it.
You have been accused of embellishing the fact that your grandparents were in the Holocaust. Hey, who hasn't? Who amongst us? Am I right? You know, you're at a job interview. Hey, what's this gap in employment? And you go, oh, I was in the Holocaust during that. Who amongst us, guys?
Do you now have a sense of the committees you want to serve on, the type of work you want to do?
I came to D.C. without really any preconceived notion.
Embellishing one's resume isn't a crime.
Right.
It's
frankly how a lot of people get to Congress, and we want everyone to be honest. And again, you've acknowledged that, and you're working for it going forward.
Great, Matt.
One of the principal critiques I've heard is that a lot of money was donated to your campaign by you.
This is where things get a little... Where's the button? This is where things get a little...
weird.
Thank you.
One of the principal critiques I've heard is that a lot of money was donated to your campaign by you, $700,000, I believe. Where did it come from?
Well, I'll tell you where it didn't come from. It didn't come from China, Ukraine, or Burisma. How about that?
Okay, now real answer, please.
Oh, yeah, that is an answer. I mean, I also put money into my campaign when I ran. I had to sell some of the property that I had acquired in my life in order to fund
something that I really believed in. And,
right.
When I was raising money
for different charities, I always tried to put my own money in first. And so, when you donated that money to your campaign, is there anything else you can say about the work you did that was the origin of those resources?
Look, I've worked my entire life. I've lived an honest life.
Is there anything you want to say about where all that money came from? $700,000 into your campaign. Is there anything you could tell us? Is there anything you want to say about where all that money came from?
I've never been accused, sued of any bad doing. So, it's the equity of my hard-working self, and I've invested inside of me. Like I said, it didn't come from Burisma. It didn't come from Ukraine, Russia, China, unlike some folks that we all know that get money from those sources.
Inside the Beltway.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. So I ask the question again, and you give the same non-response. Many say that's a little...
weird.
That's a little...
That's really weird.
That's really...
toilets.
I'm really hesitant to get into some this is a bad guy. This guy's a bad guy or something, because this is clearly there's some compulsive lying thing going on. He's 34 years old. It's pretty young to be on the world stage this much. It is unclear where Santos, who didn't graduate from college or work for Goldman Sachs and Citigroup as he claimed, got the more than $700,000 he lent his campaign. The source of those funds is at the heart of a complaint filed January 9th with the Federal Election Commission by the campaign Legal Center. Blah, 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 blah. The complaint calls Santos' claim of earning millions over the previous 2 years from his company, the devolder organization, vague, uncorroborated, and non-credible in light of his many previous lies. You know, a lot of people this guy's age, they're out at a bar trying to meet somebody, and they're like, I'm actually a movie producer. Oh, what movies have you produced? Top Gun Maverick. What's that? I don't know. This guy's lying a lot about big things involving a lot of money. And so this is what he said that this company that he started did. He's 34. If devolder helped one of its clients sell a boat or a plane or to another client, it would receive a fee or commission, according to Santos. What I will do is I'll go through my Rolodex and I'll help somebody buy a plane or a boat. This is what I would say. Honestly, this is something that I would make up if I were trying to convince somebody I'm rich. Oh, I help rich people buy boats. You know, I'm just in my boats. Rich people, money, boats, planes. I do that. You do what? I don't know. Here's where the problems start. Santos hadn't identified any of his clients or provided documents verifying any of devolder's transactions. The Santos campaign didn't respond to multiple emails. It's another weird thing when Matt Gaetz like, where'd you get all that money, man? And George Santos like, I didn't do anything wrong. That's his basically answer. I didn't do anything wrong. You know somebody didn't do anything wrong when they just out of the nowhere, I didn't do anything wrong. You did something wrong. I did? Yeah, actually. So if you read that Barron's article that I was just reading, which I know you will because we all read Barron's, the two most popular things among young people are TikTok and Barron's magazine, and they read it in print. But if you read that thing, what they say is like, this company seems fake. This poor guy, George Santos, his goddamn company seems fake. And this is what everybody's asking about this guy. This guy who's like, you know, at the center of all this media attention. Where'd this guy get all his money? Where'd all this money come from? And here's a possibility. George Santos was paid for work at a company accused of Ponzi scheme later than previously known. Oh, here's a shocker. You guys are not going to believe this. This is a Florida-based company. But basically, this company is in muchos problemos.
Muchos problemos.
And this Washington Post writer did some pretty good investigating on this. So the SEC, this is in 2021, alleged that Maroney, that's the guy who started this company, raised more than $17 million. Whoa. $17 million, huh? That's this.
And this.
By deceiving investors into sinking their money into unregistered fraudulent securities. So it's fake. It's a Ponzi scheme, they're saying. The SEC complaint named Harbor City and Maroney as defendants, but did not name Santos or any other Harbor City employees. Check this out. Santos was responsible for securing investors for the company in New York, according to the people familiar with the role who spoke on the condition of anonymity because of the matter's sensitivity. So they're saying this was just fraudulent Ponzi scheme stuff. But if you watch, this guy has YouTube videos. He's like, I'll get you a good, safe return on that money. So he was able to get $17 million from these people. Maroney, again, the owner of the company that this guy, George Santos, worked for and is tied to in other ways, by the way, used another $6.5 million to make monthly interest payments to investors in, quote, classic Ponzi scheme fashion, according to the SEC complaint. Oh, man. Okay, guys, promise, last one. Ooh, whoa. You can actually watch videos from this company, Harbor City Capital. Harbor City Capital. Let's see how many subscribers. 163. Ooh, not good, bro. What's this? How secure and safe is Harbor City's 2-year high yield 18% bond? Ooh, I get 18%? Actually, I won't maybe sign up. For some reason, the comments are turned off on this, which seems legit, bro.
Did the embattled congressman accused of outrageous lies also rip off key elements of his life story from his former boss?
I don't know.
Will you step down?
Okay. I will not. Newly sworn in George Santos claims he went to Baruch College in New York, where he was a star player on the championship volleyball team. He even boasted...
I didn't hear about that part. Oh, boy. You lied about volleyball, too? That's a line you can't cross. Oh my God, check out this New Jersey guy. I love this guy.
Even boasted about his volleyball skills to a local Republican big shot on Long Island.
Told me, I remember specifically, I'm into sports a little bit, that he was a star on the Baruch volleyball team and that they won the league championship. And what can I tell you?
Stephen Colbert.
He told me he was on the volleyball. I got so excited. I mean, you love volleyball. I love volleyball.
That he was a star on the Baruch volleyball team, and that
you can't believe he lied to me about that volleyball ball. I'm sorry, sir. What was the sport that he was lying about again? I told you, volleyball. I'm not gonna say it again.
The sister of George Santos,
Who?
facing eviction from her Elmhurst apartment on Queens Boulevard.
Okay.
The property owners claim Tiffany Santos hasn't paid rent since March 2020.
Oh,
According
wow.
to court records obtained by Team 12 Investigates, Santos received more than $30,000 in July from the federal rent relief program that was developed during the pandemic.
Oh, boy.
Despite receiving that rental assistance, her landlords claim she still owes them $40,000 in rent that, quote, has been entirely ignored and unpaid.
Whoa. So this is my favorite of the Santos-isms, of all the Santos-isms. So he has a sister who lives in Queens, I think it is. She hasn't paid her rent since like August of 2020. And the landlords are like, hey, you owe us $40,000. And then she got $30,000 in rental assistance. What they're saying is that she's just like, yeah, I'm not going to give this money to you. I'm not going to. So they're threatening to evict her because she's just like, yeah, I got this money from the government, but I'm just going to keep it. And I think most of us, definitely most of me is like, oh no, a New York City landlord. Oh no, a New York City landlord, the most honest of people. The most honest / hardworking of people. Are they not going to get their rent? No. Oh no, it's a tragedy. But basically, like a couple months after she stopped paying rent, the same guy, Georgie, I'll call him, tweets this. Will we landlords ever be able to take back possession of our property? My family and I nearing a 1-year anniversary of not receiving rent on 13 properties, which I think turned out not to be true also. The state is collecting their tax, yet we have zero help from the government. We worked hard to acquire these assets. Oh, man. This guy rules. He's a true American. He's what America's about. Scams, lying, fraud, deception, black magic. So we here at the channel salute you, you whack job you idiot you. George Santos, he can certainly
call a crackhead
for some reason.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this. Oh yeah, you know what time it is.
It's our favorite day, even though it's just
for one day.
Have a fun weekend, guys. Maybe do some and maybe
Take a doo-doo.
Love you guys so much. Bye-bye.
Hey guys.
Guess what? You're not even getting the whole show. If you want every episode and a whole bunch of other
subscribe on Patreon.
Subscribe on Patreon for as little as 2 bones. Just click the stupid little link below the video in the comments.
See, right there. There
you go. Click it and that, yep. When you become a patron for as little as 2 bones, you get the Tuesday, Thursday, patron-only episodes. You also get the weekly Book Oblega show where we talk about important books. The questions and comments thing where you can ask questions and make comments and all this crap.
And the weekly behind-the-scenes show. All for less than the price of a rancid Charleston chew.
And for only 25 putrid little dollars,
you can become a producer.
That's right, support the show and get your name up here. Look at these people. Look at these people that make the show possible, okay? God. I mean, without these beautiful people, this show goes straight into the dumpster. A rotten, just wet, disgusting dumpster, behind a restaurant. So there's old milk in there. That's where this show ends up without these people. Is that what you want? Okay, I guess it's what you want. I'll just leave. No, it's done. It's too late. Okay? Here we go. Here's the dump truck. Here's the dump truck come to pick up the show. This is what would happen with no producers. Thank you.